Alrighty. Hello. My name is Sukhum HING, and welcome to another episode of the Sukhum Show. Today is May 7th, so this is a weekend show live stream. So thank you for tuning in. And today's quote, we'll start it right off. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but rather by the seeds you plant. I really love that. I'm going to be going into that quite a bit, and it kind of resonated with from a YouTuber perspective, don't worry about getting to that 1,000 subscribers, the 10,000 subscriber mark, whatever mark you're at, and then don't be so sad about how many views you're getting or anything like that, but rather how much reach and how much you're putting out there, because those are seeds that you are planting and it will come around, I assure you. So awesome. Thank you for that. And today's topic, we will be going into quite a bit of conversation regarding my whys. I don't think I've shared that technically with everyone on why I like to live stream and go over stories and then share just my thoughts on personal development, like why that was important to me. So I definitely want to dig into that today. I had a lot of great conversation with my wife, and we talked a lot about different things. And I like to bounce ideas off her, and that really helps me get to another level of thinking and oh, I didn't realize that perspective. And that's collaboration, my friends. Keep collaborating, keep bouncing ideas off your peers, the people you look up to, and reach out and keep building on that too. And always your significant other, of course, will be a great way to bounce ideas, a great person to bounce ideas off of. Cool. The other thing will be some focus towards the channel. This channel, I know that I've been doing stories for the last 30 days in April. Now I'm doing a lot of live stream conversation. And then on the weekends, I'm doing a few other things. But let's take a step back, and I want to reset what you will be getting from watching the live streams and some of my content. So that way you can filter out for yourself if this is something for you or not. So definitely tune in on that one. And then the third topic I'll be talking about would be just some schedule updates for the live stream show and some things to come for May as well too. Awesome. Great at that. I'm excited. I have food ready for me and I'm hungry. I'm looking at it and I'm like, all right, I'll get to that too. So let's talk about the why. I was going to switch things around and get to the little ones, but let's jump into the why. I'm excited for this one too, just because I thought long and hard about it, right? So my why, what is my why, and what is it that the ultimate content that I'm creating and talking about? And it's centered around personal development. I talked about this in some of my videos in the past about I want to own my own business. I want to build on personal development and really focus towards that area, inspiration, motivation, and building people up, right? So I was thinking, why is that important to me? Well, I've been doing a lot of vision and goals for the last 5-6 years with the company I'm with. And part of building vision and goals is seeing what your life looks like 10 years from now. And I guess during this journey, I have an ideal view of what I want for my family life, my health life, my career, my spirituality, all that. I have I have a vision of what I want down the road for that too. And as I'm going through this journey in the last 5-6 years, I've come across some really great mentors who are just phenomenal at their craft. I mean, craft by how they communicate and how they help and build other people up through personal development. And that was something I really enjoyed. And here's the thing, quick story would be during the beginning phases of my journey with the company, there was a meeting, a group, and I was part of the team, and there was a lot of frustration within the team. People were mad, upset, some of the changes that went on, some of the choices and decisions that were made. A lot of people weren't happy at a certain time, and I love how one of the leaders in the group, and he was one of my mentors, and I love seeing him, how he calmed everybody down. He addressed some of the issues that came up. He even took responsibility where the leadership team should have done some things, but he also brought it back where like, hey, some of these accountabilities are also part of the associate team, and it's more of like recognizing this as a team. And he was able to address that person's specific issues and it's like, hey, I hear you on your issues and concerns. Let me know that's important to me. I'm letting you know that's important to me. And then being able to direct that and really move forward with that was really masterful. I really appreciate it and I respect it. It was almost like poetry and art in a way where you recognize something and you're like, wow, that's really awesome. And that resonated with me. And I was like, man, I want to get there. I want to work towards being that good. And what's funny, like this was 5-6 years ago when I first started. And just the other weekend, I was working with one of my team members and I asked them for feedback. Hey, what's one thing you appreciate about me and one thing you feel like you enjoy and value, about me? And he told me, right? There was an incident just happened a few days prior to this conversation. And there's like, honestly, I wouldn't know what to do in that situation, but I watched you handle it, how you diffuse the situation, how you talked to the team and really was able to communicate in a way where like, wow, that was really effective and you did a really good job. And it wasn't just that moment. He's like, I've seen you done it multiple times throughout his time working with me. And that's when it's like, thank you, man. I appreciate that. And what I realized through reflection is that the leader that I was looking to become and really trying to, I've been practicing and working on myself to develop myself to get to that level. And I feel like, wow, I just got feedback on that level, even though I myself was like, I need a lot more work. I need to keep building myself up. But from their eyes, they saw something that they're like, wow, I definitely can work on myself more to get to that level. So great realization, something I've learned, and I take that back, and that was just a work and career moment, and I take that back and think about my family life and the personal things that goes on in my life. There are things that drives me crazy. Like my brothers are not the best communicators. There are things that we struggle. I'm not the best communicator when it comes to my family. I hope some of you guys might understand and relate where when we talk to our friends, our coworkers, it's completely different from how we talk to family. It's almost feel like we have different persona, different realities, or who our authentic self is. And that was a good eye opener because there was some tough conversation I had to have with my family, and it's not the same conversation. So I bring that up because like that's also an area I'm gonna be working on and continue to develop. So more to come on it. I mean, that's an area that I still struggle with, and I try my best to exercise and work around it and see where the other person is coming from and what is that we ultimately want from this conversation. So a lot more I'm digging into, but I know that I've gotten a lot better with my family. Before, it used to be petty things that always comes up that really, really frustrates me. I'm like, really? We're having a family dinner? Do we really have to have this conversation now? And I realize I can still have these conversations, be authentic, and just be honest and respectful at the same time, and still get to some outcome. So I've learned a lot in that area, and I still, like I said, I'm still gonna continue to learn. But these are the whys. Like this is my world, and I wanna create a world for myself where I can be my authentic self. And I can pass it on to the people in my world that they can be their authentic self and they can really have conversation and we can all be honest and respectful without going at each other's throat, I guess. So those are things that pushes me to continue to keep learning and keep building on. That's my why. And I really want to make sure that I get to a point where like I'm really, really in tune with this. And I guess you can also even speak to this from a Gary V's perspective on when he talks about self-awareness. This is raising your own self-awareness that you can be in tune no matter what goes on with the people around you, that you will always be you and you can be powerful in who you are. And that's something I'm going to be doing my best to support my son and how he's going to be raised up and how he's going to grow up and really be the kind of man that he wants to be and that he can truly be authentic to himself. So these are some of my whys. Like, this is what drives me and keeps me going. This is what helps me wake up at 5 o'clock on a Saturday, on a Sunday, to keep staying up and pushing through. And I would stay up late from 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. And that's my schedule right now. And as drained as I am some days, but I know this is important, and I'm putting out this work because I'm not worried about harvesting or reaping the harvest right now, but rather planting seeds. So loving that. 10-minute mark. Definitely sharing the whys with you guys is super important to me, and know what that leads to. By sharing my whys, and why today is such a conversation that I'm excited for, would be just what's coming down the channel in the pipeline for the YouTube channel, or even a lot of my social media. Is I feel like right now, when it comes to social media and business, that is my documenting and learning stages. I'm not an expert at it. I'm not in teaching mode. I can't teach other people about it, but I will document and learn from it and share that. Because I feel like someday someone's gonna look around and like, hey, I want to start my own social media, or I want to get into social media. I don't know how to. Here's someone who's documenting his journey along. So all the pitfalls, the things that I went through with the time I had, maybe it'll resonate with them. Maybe they can take something away from it too. And also, like I said, this is a learning perspective. What did I learn from it? And what would I encourage others to do differently? And how am I connecting with my peers who's also going through the same things? And what can we do to bounce ideas off each other? Hence the collaboration, hence the interviews. How do we keep pushing and supporting one another in these areas? So I'm excited for some other collabs that I'll be doing. So it's going to be fun, and I look forward to sharing that with you guys. And that's the social media aspect. And the same thing goes for the business perspective. I have zero experience with business. I'm not a good seller. You know, I don't sell anything on eBay, Amazon. I barely sell anything. So from the business perspective, I'm like green on green, if that's such a thing. So super newbie mode. But again, I'm going to be focusing time on learning the business. Like, how am I building a website? If one of YouTube's ways is monetization, and you're doing AdSense. So I can't do that until I get 10,000 views, lifetime views. So I'll be working towards that. But in the meantime, what else can I do? There's affiliate marketing. There's other things that I can sell products. I can sell courses. I can write a book, whatever the case may be. But that's the business side. I don't know anything about it. So I'm going to be learning about that and really sharing and documenting that with everybody too. So those two things are my learning and documentation. Where next phase is also, I feel like it's going to be more of the teaching and practicing phase. Like, what's your craft? What do you feel like you put in some years in and put in some deliberate practicing hours in, that you feel like you're pretty good at it now, and that someone can take some kind of your advice, some of your coaching, some of your support in, and that's your craft. You put in the work in that one. So in that area would be my craft, is that development piece, that communication piece, where I'm not probably the most effective communicator. I have a lot of things I need to work on, but I do know if I were to have a one-on-one and address and communicate and speak to some of the things that comes up for you, I can support in that area. And I know that that's what I've been doing with the people around in my life. And again, like, to each his own. Like, what I might be saying and sharing with you might not be your cup of tea, and that's fine. There are plenty of people out there who's really doing the same content and who's really striving to keep pushing people to get better and better, and know that that's fine. Like, you're going to find somebody and you're going to resonate with them and you're going to follow them too. And that's what I need to continue doing, is to build up my craft, to build this up to a point where, like, people can easily resonate with me and they can take something away from me. So that's something I'll be working on. So that's that document learning and the teaching and practicing on that too. So those are 3 things that you'll see from my channel. And like I said, if that's not your cup of tea, that's absolutely fine. I'm not worried about it. There's an audience out there, and they're going to find me, and they're going to be looking at, and I'm going to go find them too as well. So thank you for that. I really appreciate you guys tuning in and just hearing me speak a little bit about the future content of the channel. And don't get me wrong, that's the 3 main things that I'll be focusing on. there are other areas of my life that I'm also focusing. Right now is May. I'm doing the hashtag Omatum, 1 mile a day in May. I'm running every single day. I actually just did my morning run this morning. So day 7 down. Yeah. So those are things that I'll be working on. And then in the summertime, I'm thinking about doing a lot of hiking. So there's areas in my life, the personal, even finance. I'm going to be digging into finance. How am I being smart with my money? Like, what are my savings? What are my plans with investments and everything like that? Like, that might resonate with somebody, which is fine. Know that I'm not intentionally digging into that heavily, where my 3 areas is what I'm going to be heavily digging in: social media, business, and honing my craft. Those are areas I'm digging in. I have other areas that I know is a priority of my life that I'm going to be building on too. And it might not be as in depth as the other 3, but I will be sharing those down the road. And I'll share that through one of my videos down the road is my vision and goals. What's my life look like 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 1 year from now? That's what I've been practicing and trading on. So that's something I'll share with everybody too. Cool. So that is the focus on it. Let me also share at the very end of this. So some inspiration behind this, right? So I've been following Gary Vee for the last couple years. I see a lot of his content. In his early days, he talked about like, if you don't know the subject, right? So for me, social media and business. If you know nothing about it and you want to make money off of it, or you want to get better at it, just document. Document versus creating. This is your learning. Someone's going to take something away from it, you know? Document versus creating. And that was really big. So think about that through your journey. What are you doing that you feel that you're not good at? Know though, document and journey it. And that's your path, your journey on it, you know? So think about that. I think that was a really good tip from Gary. And then Roberta Blake talks about like, if you never make money on your craft or your profession, do it for free for your first couple times, right? So that for me comes up with my personal development, you know, and what I'm leaning towards is I'm going to be becoming a coach. So that's where a coach on how to support people in that area. So that's where I'm going to be working on. So I'll probably be doing that for free the first couple times and just getting some honest and authentic feedback from people. And know that like I'm not there to give you guys the answer to questions or anything like that. I don't think that's the intention. I feel powerfully that we have the answers to every single questions we pose amongst ourselves. We do. And if we don't know the answer, there's always Google and YouTube. But besides the point, you have the answer if you think long and hard about it. And there's some exercises, some tools that you can use to help you find the answers. Because I think some of the questions that come up for a lot of people were, how do people find what their strength and what they're passionate about, so that way they can tackle a business or start their business. How do you get to Gary Vee's level of self-awareness? I think he's probably one of the highest people up there in terms of understanding self-awareness and how he can switch quickly on his decisions and how he can take things. So I think that's a huge, huge asset. And how do you get to that level? So these are some questions that if you're posing yourself, how do you find the answer to that? You can do the research, or you can really reflect in and go off of your experience and what you can do to think about that, and then build up on that. That might not be the entire answer for it, but you at least figure out some sense of direction in that too. Cool. So 2 topics down, got my why in, got the focus of the channel in. So last thing I want to share with you guys is the weekend show. So one thing I was practicing a lot was that, well, not practicing, I was going into thinking that, hey, on the weekends, I can do a early morning schedule, 8 a.m. on Saturday, 8 a.m. on Sunday. But looking at this, I have a lot of other commitments on Saturday and Sunday, mostly family stuff, spiritual stuff that I committed to, that I really want to make sure that I'm still holding true to that, and I'm still supporting during all this too. So what I'm coming at is 8 a.m. on the weekends might not be the best time for me. Actually, for now, I'm going to be doing just a Monday through Friday live stream. That's my schedule right now. I think testing out week 1, Monday through Friday is probably going to be the best time for me for live stream. Now, on the weekend, I'm going to take a break from live streaming. I'll probably share some kind of video or posts over the weekend, but live streaming wise, Monday through Friday. And who knows, maybe on Saturday and Sunday, I'll just randomly pop in and be like, hey, just do a quick live stream for everybody too. But that's the schedule update. I just want to share that with everybody who's watching and following. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm excited for that. So thank you guys for that. And I'd love to hear you guys' comments on this too. I want to know where the three things that I'm focusing, the social and business, that's my document and learning. And then the other one's my craft. Does anyone have something similar to that as they're going through their channel, as they're going through their journey? Are you guys also in documented learning? Are you guys also doing things that you are feeling like this is your craft? So I just realized I just asked you guys like 6 questions for a question of the day. So let me summarize all that into one question would be, if you have to pick one area that's your craft, this is your passion, what is that one area? And know that that's an area you're teaching others, you're practicing around, so you're living in that. So yeah, what is that one area that is your craft, your profession? So definitely looking forward to more. So thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. And till next time, this is the Sukhum HING Show, signing out. Take it easy.